A very good evening to all dear teachers and parents and all our community members who have joined us for this next workshop in the Ability Workshop series. I give a very warm welcome to all of you joining from different parts of the world. I am Priyanshi, your host for today. Today's topic is on empowering educators to navigate challenges in the classes. This is to empower your teaching journey with upskilling and collaboration. Our speaker for today is Ms. Shivani Wadhwa, who is a counseling psychologist and remedial therapist. A little more about her in a while. For those who are new to Ability, let me tell you a little bit about us. Our mission is to give every child an opportunity to thrive. All carers of children with special needs are at the center of our universe. We make resources more accessible, affordable, and effective for everyone through technology and collaboration with carers like all of you present here today. Thank you so much for all of your support. Because of that, we have grown into a community of over 150,000 plus special educators, therapists, teachers, and parents across 80 plus countries. Thank you so much for all the constant support. We have a huge presence on social media with 16,000 followers on Facebook, 3,000 followers on Instagram. YouTube has 4,000 followers and 3,000 plus on the WhatsApp group members. Let us continue to collaborate together and go towards this mission of helping children who are facing challenges, including special needs. Join hands with Ability. How you can do that is by doing the following things, and a lot of you would have already been attending these certificate programs, these events. You can share these programs with others who you know might benefit from it, and we have over 140 plus events to choose from. You can also create and share resources on our platform to help children with special needs achieve better outcomes. We have 400 plus resources for everyone. Welcome to the community. Let me tell you a little bit about our speaker. Ms. Shivani Wadhwa has 10 plus years of rich experience in helping children who are facing challenges. She aims to empower individuals to reach their potential emotionally and academically. Her training and coaching practices aim to guide parents and teachers to maximize the potential of children. And she has also founded a company called Samarthya, Nurturing a Better You. We welcome ma'am today on this auspicious day. Now, let me quickly do an energizer with all of you here today so that all of us are ready, set, and good to go, good to learn. So can I see some responses in the chat box? Are all of you ready? Ready for this energizer? Can I see a yes in the chat box, dear participants? Yes, everyone is super excited and ready for this energizer. And this is going to be a little different. This time we are going to quiz you as teachers and educators and parents, all of you who are present here today. A lot of times we test the students, but today we are flipping the table. So the first question that I'm asking you is, what is 45 plus 32? Give the responses in the chat box, and I want quick answers from all of you. What is 45 plus 32? Okay, great. I can see so many responses coming in, and I lost track who wrote in their answers first, but all of you are so quick and amazing at this. So I can see everyone is so energetic and ready to learn and participate. Love the energy in the chat box, dear participants. Let us move on to the next question, which is, what is 96 minus 69? Can I see some responses in the chat box? Okay, 27, 37, 30, 27, 33. I can see some people changing their answers. There are few responses in the chat box. 96 minus 69. Okay. more and more of 27. Okay, someone answered 77. So many, so many responses and energy in the chat box. This is great to see, dear educators. Yes, the correct answer is to in fact 27. All of you, most of you got it right. And if you didn't and you want, there is one last question for you where you can redeem this chance. let me present the third question now, which is 7 multiplied by 7. Give me your answers in the chat box right away. I can see everyone, every single one of you has gotten this answer right. Thank you so much in participating in this quick energizer. Now, these questions are sometimes difficult for children who are facing academic and challenges. So to learn more about this, let us call our speaker for today, Ms. Shivani Wadhwa. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Priyanshi, for a lovely introduction and warm welcome. A very good evening to you all, dear participants. It's lovely to see the energy and responses that you have had in the chat box. Let us continue that throughout the session. So today we'll be talking about how you can manage academic and behavioral challenges in your classrooms. So the agenda for today's session is we'll understand what are the various challenges that children can face, the importance of upskilling ourselves to support them better, and how can we collaborate with other stakeholders to improve the outcomes of children. So beginning off with the section 1 of challenges that children face. We all see that children do face various challenges, but have we ever thought of the size of the problem? Have we ever reflected and thought of how big can they be? What are the challenges they are facing? Are they really big in size? Is it something that we need to cater to? So if we look at the data at the global level, you'll see that there are 70% of 10-year-olds in the middle to low income countries where they are not even able to understand a simple written text. Learning poverty is increasing where they're not able to do the basic numeracy and literacy that they are required to do at their age. We might think that pandemic has brought about this change, but if we reflect and look back, these challenges were present even before pandemic. So if you look at the report of 2018 by PISA, there are 10 million 15-year-old students who are not even able to complete the basic reading tasks that were given to them. And if we look at the population of the youth, we have 60% of them not even reaching the basic skill levels of different countries. The percentage varies. And it is estimated that more than 13% of adolescents are living with a mental disorder. And in that, anxiety and depression is taking up most of the challenges that children are facing. So with all of this that children are going through, right, we see that there are different reasons because of which children are facing challenges. So when we talk about what are the main causes that can lead to this poor performance, can you think as why these challenges could be there in children? So we need to understand that children are coming from various backgrounds, right? When we deal with children, each child is unique in their own ways. They're all from different socioeconomic backgrounds, different life contexts that they come from. So the reasons could be different. So when we look at the reasons, you will notice that some students in your class are first generation learners. That is, they're the first ones in the family to go for a formal education. So they might have little or no support from people in their family to help them progress or even clear their doubts. Or some may be learners who are facing difficulty because of challenging financial or social backgrounds. We also have some students in our classroom who may be facing some kind of a health issue, or it could be that they are facing a mental challenge. So it's important to notice that even while we are catering to children in our classrooms, we see that some have been diagnosed with some underlying condition. They could have a neurodevelopmental challenge or a cognitive challenge where the child could be having attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or some learning disorders because of which the performance is hampered. And when we talk about these challenges, there could also be some children who were previously facing challenges, but now, because of the pandemic, they have regressed. Lot more challenges have developed. So these are various reasons that can make a child struggle, and there could be many more. So when children are facing these challenges, don't you think that they may show up in the classrooms as well in their performance? Yeah, you agree with me on that? So when we think about these challenges and how they show up in the classroom, there are going to be various difficulties. You would see that there would be reading challenges, writing challenges, arithmetic challenges, attention or behavior challenges. I see a lot of you agreeing with me. So now can you go to the chat box and tell me, how do reading challenges look like in the classrooms? Or when you are dealing with children who have reading difficulties, what do you think they may be struggling with when it comes to reading? What challenges, what are the challenges associated to reading? Unable to read what is given to them, okay. They get bored easily. Pronunciation may be a problem, not able to identify alphabets, difficulty to read aloud, not able to pronounce the word, okay, spelling, okay. What else? So when you see that yes, letter reversals could be there. They're not even able to identify simple words, difficulty in reading. So poor letter sound knowledge. They're not able to read with expression, cannot understand. Yes, but some of you told me comprehension is a challenge. They don't show interest, like most of you are saying, sums up the reading challenges. The list is not exhaustive, but if you look at it, these are the major reading challenges that children face. Difficulty in recognizing alphabet. I see one of you telling that. Word recognition. They might skip words while reading. They're not able to find the word meanings. Yes, min pronunciation. Idea of phonics is not there. Difficulty to communicate, okay, in written language, in right, okay, lack of confidence in reading, wonderful. So these are some examples of how reading difficulties can manifest in the classroom. Moving on to writing challenges. How do writing challenges look like in the classroom? So if you look and think about a child having a writing difficulty, or we see that the child's performance is not good. So what will be writing difficulties? How do they look like? Spellings, yes. Spelling errors would be there, reversals would be there, misspelled words. Yes, B are written as D. They do not want to write at all. Letter formation is a challenge, mirroring, poor eye-hand coordination. Yes, difficulty in pincer grip. Yes. So we see that a lot of you are saying when it comes to writing challenges, word recognition, poor writing, reversal of letters, they write extremely slow. Handwriting, the alignment is not proper. They're not able to put their thoughts on paper. Grammar is not there. Yes, wrong use of punctuations. Great. I see a lot of you telling me manifestations. You will also see that they're not able to write within the given space. Yeah, the variety in sentence formation is not there. They might not use the accurate words. And when we talk of writing challenges, yes, they're not in a straight line. Writing is illegible. They might not be able to copy from the board as well. So this is how writing challenges manifest. Poor fine motor development, absolutely. So moving on to arithmetic challenges. How do these challenges look like in your classrooms? When I ask you to think of children who are struggling with math, they're not able to focus, okay. What else do you think when it comes to math challenges would be that they fear the subject? Yes, there could be number reversals. Yes, I see. They copy the digits wrong. Logical thinking is poor. Not able to solve the math problems. So they have difficulty with basic math operations, understanding and solving word problems, with time and direction. Yes, lack of interest, not able to understand grade level topics. Tables is a challenge. They're slow in analyzing. Again, lack of confidence, yes, can be there. They're not able to count forward and backward. Their marks and performance has been consistently below grade level. Yes, what else do you think how it can manifest? Understanding of the basic concepts is not clear. Fantastic. So this is how, when we look at arithmetic challenges, this is how it manifests in the classroom. So there can be different reasons of how they manifest. Some children might have regressed during the pandemic, or some are not understanding the concept and are not able to progress ahead, or the family might be going through a difficult time. where the child is not able to be regular to school, so misses out on the information that was taught. Or it could be the child has an underlying condition like a learning difficulty because of which the child is not able to do. So when we look at these challenges, we also see that attention challenges are there in children. We also come across behavioral challenges. These can also impact academic outcomes. The vice versa is also true. So when I ask you, how do attention challenges look like in your classroom? What would you say when you look at children? Okay, I see that attention challenge is there. How does it manifest in your classrooms? Did they get restless? Yes. What else could it be? They're distracted. There's no focus. What else? What do you think it could? Yeah, they might be sleepy at times. They ask unnecessary things because they're not understanding. They may be shy. They start moving around. So when we talk of attention challenges, yes, they might start to misplace things. They can often delay submissions. They are restless. They are anxious. They do not complete things on time. They may tend to daydream. They have difficulty following rules and regulations. They might distract others. They might frequently switch between tasks. They're not able to focus. Yes, zoning out in class, great. So when these are attention challenges, not an exhaustive list, but what we commonly see in the classroom. So how do behavioral challenges look like in your classrooms? So when we talk about, yes, this child's behavior has to be improved, we need to work on the behavior. How do behavioral challenges look like in the classroom? You see that, yes, they may be playful. Yes, being shy and not talking also can become a behavioral challenge, the other side of it. They can move around, trouble peers, yes. What else? When we talk of behavior challenges, they might be distracting others, aggression, yes. They can be sad, they can be depressed, self control is not there, impulsivity, they might be bullying, they do not have management of emotions, they could be disrespectful towards others, maybe the teachers, peers. Maintaining conversations is not there. High-headed, shouting in class suddenly. Yes, they do not want to talk, be within themselves. Difficulty working in groups. They could be sleepy. Yes, all of these are attention challenges, sorry, behavior challenges that we see in children. Sometimes they also don't accept themselves. That's poor self-image, specifically in adolescence. So these are various challenges that we see in the classrooms, and the reasons of it could be different. And when we talk about these challenges, we saw that different challenges have different causes. We tend to sometimes label it as, okay, the child does not have the ability, or it is because the child is lazy, the child is not showing interest. But it's important to look at the underlying reason. That's one of the most important things. And now, while we have discussed these challenges, do you think our children will know what their challenge is? Yes or no? Do you think our children know what their challenges are? Yes, yes, no, no. Most of you saying no, that it's difficult for the child themselves to know what they are going through. So now we'll meet Jenny, who could be one of the students in our classrooms, and we have such students in our classroom. Imagine Jenny, she's a child who's looking out of the window in the class. She struggles to finish her work on time and she forgets the instructions that the teacher gives her. Right? We come across such children in our classrooms. Now, if we as a teacher go and ask Jenny, why are you not able to do it? Do you think Jenny would have an answer? It's same way like when we go to a doctor and a doctor asks us, why are you unwell? Right? So it's a doctor who knows. Same way, we as professionals or teachers, when we are dealing with children, we are similar to doctors. We are here to help them identify the specific challenge they have and address that as early as possible. So the moment we address it as early as possible, the effect will not snowball. The child will not carry that burden next class. So it's very important that we try to address it the moment it's identified so that it does not get so difficult for the child to cope with the challenge. And while we talk about this, yes, it is something that we can work on. It is avoidable. The moment you understand the challenge, we can work on improving it each day. While we are dealing with students, we have a chance to make a difference in their lives. The moment we understand that, we are there to support them. We are there to inspire them and dream big. And we are facilitators so that they can achieve their goals. So it's very important that we identify the challenge that they are facing. And there are many ways in which you can solve these challenges. It gets overwhelming, but yes, there are ways in which you can support children to overcome challenges. Some of the ways that we would discuss today is how you can upskill yourselves and how you can collaborate with others. The moment I say upskill, I take this opportunity to thank all of you to take a step towards upskilling. That is why you're here today, to know more, to understand better ways to support, right? So this is a way towards upskilling. So keep doing that so that we learn new strategies to support and improve student outcomes. So we as teachers are most important change agents in the life of children. And while we do that, we need to identify the specific challenge. And we will also see what are the challenges that you as teachers face while dealing with children. So when we do that in a classroom, you would agree with me, right? There are different types of children. So the challenges they face can be different. As a teacher, we might think how to cater to different needs of these children. Some of them are not able to read. Some of them are not able to even hold the pencil, and some are not able to do the basic math operations. The other challenge could be they all understand my lesson at different rates. Some of them might have come prepared already because of tuition classes, or some are not understanding in spite of explaining 2 to 3 times. Some of them are taking some time to fully comprehend. So, with a different pace of learning, we wonder how can I finish the syllabus on time? After that, we see that in a classroom, there are some behavior and attention challenges, right? At that point of time, you spend half of the time just keeping the class quiet and productive. Some students are not paying attention, they get distracted, some are talking among themselves. We give them a task, they are distracted. So these are challenges that children face, and we as teachers struggle. When it comes to homework, we think, am I giving too much homework? Am I giving less homework? It's very important that we have these questions. That's when we are able to progress ahead. We think, is the homework that we are giving appropriate for that child? How can I assess gaps if I give that homework? So we as teachers also encounter different parents, right? If we're dealing with 40 students, we're also dealing with 40 different families. So we need to understand that each parent will have their own expectations and capabilities. Sometimes that becomes a challenge. We're there to support and collaborate. So we think like, how can I guide them to help their children? Because each parent will have different goals and aspirations, different mindsets. They'll have different abilities to guide their children, right? And their children would have different abilities. So the way we deal with them is going to be different. And sometimes that stresses us out as educators. We get overwhelmed. We get discouraged. How are we going to do and manage all these challenges as an educator, right? Agree? We think, is it even possible to deal with these and make a difference? We do have these thoughts at times. So it's important to note here that there are many evidence-based models that are tested around the world and say that it is possible. Yes, you can upskill yourself by learning about them and see how you can use it to make a difference in the life of your children. So, as a responsible educator, we can get aware of these models to empower your students. And when we talk about upskilling, one way is to attend training programs, the ongoing ones. Yes, you have taken a step today. You can look for other programs. You can also request school management for on job training. And when I talk about upskilling, it is not knowing everything at once, right? It is getting better by 1%, small steps so that you can make a big difference. So you focus on a few things and then you apply them successfully. So learn strategically, try to use that and make it as a pattern where you can use it. So you can focus on a few things and apply them successfully. For example, you can learn how to create lesson plans, see how that is making a difference. You can also learn how you can manage your class better, how you can assign homework better. So these are ways in which you can get better in 1% area. Then you can track progress by multiple indicators. What happens is that while we are dealing with children, we try and think, okay, I'm going to use this strategy. The academic performance of the child will improve. That's the first thing that we look at, right? So it's very important that we consider and look at the child as a whole. So when we look at the child as a whole, we have other indicators to track progress. It is not just the academic performance. It could be they are participating in class better, their attendance has improved. It could be that their discipline is improving, indiscipline instances have reduced. Yeah, you would see their marks improving, behaviors, they're able to focus more, show interest. So you need to track progress in these various aspects and not just academically. So this is one way in which you can upskill. Now, when we talk about upskilling, there are suggested areas as well. So what we would say to start off with is we think you as educators can learn to build rapport with students. I'm sure all of you are already doing that. So with that, we learn new strategies so that we can benefit more children and build better rapport. We can provide confidence and encouragement to them. We as educators also look for assistance that is appropriate for these children, because in a classroom children have different challenges and those levels of challenges are different. So we can learn how we can provide the right kind of assistance to them when we are dealing with children with varying needs in the classroom. You can think of how you can manage the learning gaps. Learning gaps have widened. To help the child progress to the next level, we can think of how to manage the learning gaps, how to implement positive discipline strategies in the classroom, how to help children with attention challenges, how we can collaborate with parents effectively, other teachers effectively. So these are some areas in which you can think of strategies you can upskill to improve outcomes. So if we think of this and take up this segment of, suppose I want as an educator want to upskill in how can appropriate assistance and support be provided to students with varying needs in the classroom, let me share with you a level of support framework. It is response to intervention model, the RTI model. So when you upskill in this model, you understand that it is a three-level approach that is being used to group children based on the support they need. It is a great guide that will help you to identify children based on the level of support they need and to design interventions that are going to cater to their needs. So this is going to reduce workload of teachers so that you can implement the targeted interventions. And when you look at the levels, there are three levels or three tiers of support that we can provide. So at the bottom level, as per this model, you have students in your classroom who will receive universal instructions. These are all children. So challenges may or may not be there, but if they are there, they are at the mild level. Then we have students who need moderate support for a short period of time. So here you are providing targeted intervention based on their need. At the top level, you have students who need intense support for a long period of time. So your focus is more individualized. You're doing it for that particular child to support them. So this is one approach that you can use to upskill when you want to cater to different needs of children. So now that you have understood, this is some ways I can upskill myself. We as educators sometimes think that I cannot do it alone. I do not know what is happening back at home. Or with the time that I have, how will I cater to all these children? Each and every child is important to me. Don't we think this? How am I going to do it alone? Even as parents, sometimes, of other professionals present here, we think, how are we going to manage it all alone? But one thing to note is you are not alone. In your journey to support children, you can collaborate with other stakeholders who can help you and the child. So it is mostly true for children who need additional support. So when children who need additional support, you are there. Remember, you're not alone. Other professionals can be a strong support system. With that, we move on to understanding how you can collaborate with others. When we talk about collaboration, We think who is in our team, right? We have internal and external stakeholders. If you're talking about a school setting, the internal stakeholders are who? They are the ones in the school. You have the school management there to support you. You have other subject teachers, your colleagues who are there to support the children. We have a special educator, counselor in the school, or a remedial teacher. On the other hand, if we talk about external stakeholders, children sometimes take help from other professionals, right? The child may be going for therapy, behavior therapy, occupational therapy, they become external stakeholders. The parent is one of the most important external stakeholder for the child. The tuition teacher or other support teachers who are there to help the child learn. So these are the external stakeholders. When we talk about these stakeholders, an important thing to note is how can we collaborate? So if you think how can you collaborate with these stakeholders, it's very important that we share observations, right? It helps to improve the understanding of the child. Then when we talk about observations and assessments, we can communicate what goals we have for the child. All of us are on the same page. Yes, the child is struggling to do math operations. So we work with the parent, we work with our colleagues, we work as a class teacher or any other support teacher back at home who's teaching the child. So monthly goals and expectations can be set. We can have frequent check-in meetings. Yeah, we can have shared teaching learning materials. And it's important to value feedback, right? Your understanding or your observation of the child may differ from the other. So valuing what the other is saying or taking feedback on how to improve to help the child also is essential. While we talk about collaboration, before looking here, can you all tell me in the chat box the importance of collaboration? Do you think it's beneficial? Is it important to collaborate? Is it important that we collaborate with other stakeholders? Yes, of course, very much important, definitely. So, what is going to happen if you collaborate? You will be able to know successful strategies that is working for the child, because what may work for one child may not work for the other child. So at that point of time when I collaborate, sometimes parents also come and tell us like, ma'am, this is a strategy that can work for my child, this is what I apply at home. Or if the teacher has identified a particular strategy, the parent can be shared with the strategy. Ma'am, at school this works, you can try it at home. So even a colleague can suggest that this activity works in the classroom for managing discipline. So we have a set of successful strategies. We learn from each other. Same way, if we collaborate, the learning of the child improves and the pressure is distributed. So what happens is that we see that academics as being a challenge. So we have a special educator who can work with the child, or there's a remedial teacher who can teach concepts from the basic. And while doing that, we have understanding of the child holistically, right? The child is improving in all areas, socially, emotionally, academically, behaviorally, not just confined to academics. So these are the importance. And you would also see when we talk about collaboration, the goals that all of us set as different stakeholders gets aligned, right? We can implement the recommendations. For example, if a professional outside of school says that we need to provide some accommodations and modifications, give preferential seating, or use visual supports, we try to implement that. And that will only happen when we are collaborating with external stakeholders, right? If we do not collaborate, we wouldn't know what can work for the child. And you would also have a shared understanding of challenges. We all agree to it, because of which the goals get aligned. Parent engagement will improve when the collaboration is there, right? Parents get more and more involved with the teachers. When all of us as stakeholders get involved, the student outcomes also improve. We see that in all the areas, not just one area. So when we talk about the outcomes, we notice and we see that you would agree with me that parents have been one of the most underutilized resource in education. Parents are most important because they bridge the gap between the school and the external stakeholders. So when we talk about parents, we see that the role of parents in the life of a child differs. For some children, for example, there's a child with special needs, the role of the parent becomes very, very critical. For a child at risk, it is critical. For each child who's at the universal level, might be facing some challenges, is moderate. So we have to understand that the role of parents varies. And as per research, if good parent engagement is there and you see that parents are on the same page, it helps us to improve student outcomes. That is the goal of us as an educator. So that goal gets accelerated when parents are in support. On the other hand, if there's poor parent engagement at the school level or with the teachers, it acts as a speed breaker. We are not able to improve student outcomes because the goals are also not aligned. So it's very important that we are working as partners to bring about change. So when we talk about parent engagement, if a teacher is there with a parent who is engaged, you would see that the goals are met faster. For example, the PTM just happened and the teacher shared that the child is going through some writing challenges and gave some strategies. We see, or the teacher notices that, hey, the parent came to the PTM, the father applied those strategies, and I can see changes. On the other hand, if we see that parents are not able to comprehend or understand the importance of early intervention, it is going to take a lot of time. Parents get into denial mode, the teacher also gets stressed. So having a shared understanding, working together really helps. So to improve parent engagement, we as teachers, educators need to understand the different profiles of parents, right? Parents come from varied backgrounds. So we need to understand the profiles from where they are coming. We have to understand the various touch points of parent engagement. For example, how they feel in the school, their interaction with other teachers, the mindset and expectations of parents, their capabilities. It's also important for us to know the various ways of managing parental feedback and how we can effectively collaborate with parents is important. So, to sum up, what we have learned in these three sections is to understand that children can face multiple challenges and the reasons can be varied, right? Each child comes from diverse background. So each challenge, the reason underlying would be different. And all of us, while we are working with the child, each of us plays an important role. And we can make a huge difference in the child's life by upskilling ourselves. So when stakeholders upskill, it becomes important and we are able to provide the right support at the right time. The other important thing is while we are providing support, we need to remember we are not alone. We need to collaborate with others, and parent engagement is essential because it acts as an accelerator that will help to provide the needed support to the child. So, with that, we all might think, what else can we do as a teacher and help children better? So, one exciting way that I could share with you is the upcoming certificate program that is conducted by Ability in association with the Singapore University of Social Sciences. It is how you can learn to manage the academic challenges in the primary school students. This course will help you to understand the challenges better, how you can be more skilled in dealing with the challenges at the primary level, and how you can improve and have a better collaboration with other stakeholders. A detail of this would be taken through by the host. Thank you all so much for being lovely audience.
Thank you so much, Ms. Shivani, for such an insightful session. And I'm sure all the participants have learned as much as I have from your session. And I could see the messages constantly on the chat box. Everyone is really happy about the session and really appreciates your time and insights. Now, dear participants, after listening to the speaker today, how many of you are excited to upskill yourself? I can see you've already taken the first step by being a part of this webinar. So can I see a yes if you're excited or if you want to upskill yourself as an educator, as someone who cares about, who is a caregiver for children facing challenges. I can see so many yeses in the chat box where everyone is excited and wants to upskill themselves. Now, here is an opportunity for you to do that. where you can empower your teaching to manage academic challenges. There is a certificate course on overcoming academic challenges for children in primary school, which we are launching in collaboration with Singapore University of Social Sciences. What is about this university? I'm going to tell you about it. It is an institution committed to shaping the future of education. It's one of the top public universities in Singapore, and they are dedicated to provide a transformative learning experience with strong emphasis on social sciences and lifelong learning. Ability has teamed up with SUSS to offer you a course that promises to equip educators with essential skills to address academic challenges effectively. Who is this course for? You all will ask me. Let me tell you, it's for teachers, aspiring teachers, counselors, special educators. It's relevant for each and every one of you who have joined us here today, whether it be an academic coordinator or school leaders, administrators, or if you're para-educators, you can definitely take this course to upskill yourself, to learn something more that you might have learned already, or some new learning outcomes. Let us take a look at what will be covered. You will recognize academic struggles in the classrooms. You will learn to implement student education support plans and IEPs effectively. You will plan classroom level interventions to address academic challenges. You will understand considerations in working collaboratively with parents and children with academic challenges. You will learn about all the different ways you can collaborate with external stakeholders. Now, this we are launching at a price of 50% discount with only 2,678 rupees and to 32 US dollars. You can avail this at a 50% discount. This is an early bird offer that we are offering exclusively to all the attendees in the webinar. This is the course fees, the course duration. It's a self-paced course that can be accessible for 6 months from the first login. So this is a little bit about the course. What are the different things inside the course? There are concept videos, there are quizzes, there are additional resources that you can access from the course, and you will get certified by Singapore University of Social Sciences. You will receive a certificate of participation once you have completed the course. So that is something you would be receiving. The topic is overcoming academic challenges for children in primary school. You can sign up today and get this exclusive early bird offer discount, which is at a 50% discount rate that we are offering exclusively to the attendees. Can I see my team member has shared the course registration page for all of you to refer. I can see some questions. Yes, it's an online self-paced course. Yes, you can fill in your details post this webinar. You can click on the link and access the registration page from there and make the payment there itself. The certificate will be given after completion of the course. Thank you so much, dear participants, for joining in during this session. We hope to see you in the next session, which is by Madam Geeta Gopi on techniques for advancing expressive writing in children with diverse needs. So see you again on 2nd November 2023, back here with another workshop. Thank you so much. Register for the course and upskill yourself. And thank you so much for the dedication you are showing towards helping children who are facing challenges. This is a big bye from Team Ability.